pretty good sign. Okay, so here we are again. Excuse the wind noise. Still don't have a window on that side. Myself and Josh today. Hi, Josh. So then we're heading out to recheck the same sat eye in the sky target that I was given. And this is interesting with all the new news of all the crap beneath the pyramids and everything. So much conjecture on that, and I will be doing a video on that pretty soon because 99.5% at least of the people who are commenting, even the pros, don't actually seem to know much about geoimaging technology or scanning or interpolation or just exactly how they come to these images. They think that they're taking the images we see, the data, and they're interpreting that, and that's not true. The algorithms are actually interpreting the numbers. And those numbers are used to generate the images we see just as reference. So there's no way to interpret directly from the image. But having the experience in developing geoscanning technologies and that kind of stuff, and I've been exposed or used just about everything they have, even what the public doesn't know about. So I'm going to go ahead and do a review of that stuff in a couple of days. But today we're going out to check off one of our sat guys or whatever, our sat access, and check on a gold target. And we've got the new pulse induction machine called the Octo 6000 with us, and that's one that just came out, uses AI, and it's going to be integrated with our software soon. The manufacturers requested that we do some ground testing, and we check and see how that machine works with our software, and then potential future models we can adapt it specifically for our software, the GeoPro 3D, which we've almost got the public platform for purchasing that software as well now. And we're already up at GeoPro3D.ai. You can already go there now and see the visualizer, and if you do a login, and how to scan, you can upload it to that website and actually do initial look right on the phone in there. So it's pretty cool even now, but we're getting that rolling. We've almost finished all the physical work on the black box, and then as soon as we get our software on the website and stuff going, then we'll finish the software for the black box, and then that's going to be made available. And that's going to be a whole new game changer. It actually works very similar to the way they deep scanned the stuff under Egypt. At least looking at the Doppler changes in the data to do that, the micro differences, and remapping and mapping over, and then letting the AI algorithm figure that out. So when we get on site, I'll break the camera back out and we'll check it out. We'll still be out there with landowner today and taking a look. If we hit with the pulse induction real hard, well, if we hit real hard, we'll probably just go get a backhoe, and that'll make a much more interesting video. But anyway, all right, we'll see when you get out there. Peace. So we're getting close now. It takes a while to get out these ways, but you'll notice during this video the car will be running a little bit different and a little bit better than it did in the last video. Went ahead and swapped a carburetor on it, thanks to Doug Wright, who saw the last video and said, screw this, I'm going to order him a carb, and he just ordered and sent me a carb out. So I say toss that on, and now fixed a few other things, water leak and whatnot, and now this thing is like driving a Cadillac out here. It's pretty awesome. Got to get the weather stripping for the back hatch. It bounces a little bit, but other than that, man, I don't know. This really getting tickled with this ride. It sure is working good.
likely to be here and not down anywhere closer to the drop-offs over here, because all that has maybe a foot or two of topsoil on top of rock. And if the party was hauling and not miners and things like that, they're not going to hard rock in somewhere. And so they need to get at least 12 feet. They liked it a lot deeper than that, but they need to get at least 12 feet. And you would have to come where we are to get 12 feet of material over the top of your coverage, or to be able to dig without hitting rock to 12 feet. And what we know down there is a layer of caliche, which is a hard, whiter colored deposit. It can not be quite as hard as concrete, but pretty close. And they're likely to have cut down to that caliche, which is about 6 feet down, and then chopped into that caliche and then put their deposit there, because it'd be there permanent. It can't go down sideways. And anyway, but we're going to be taking a look into this and just kind of seeing, you know, what could be here with the pulse induction machine, and try to verify that. If there's something within 15 or 20 feet of the surface, that thing should absolutely scream. That's the Octo 6000. A pretty cool machine, man. Really neat. I mean, the AI works in it really, really good. Target ID is great. The tuning button's great. I've used all of them, Gemini 3s, you know, TM808s, all the 2-box technology. And this pulse induction with a large ground loop performs similar to a metal detector almost, but it's really clean. Its operation is outstanding. So we'll take a look at that and see what happens. Bear with us. Okay, it's recording. All right, how's it going? So this is the Octo 6000 by ASUN. This is actually an American designed machine. It uses American electronics, 32-bit processor, and it's running American designed AI. But the rods are made overseas, the carbon fiber rods, for cost savings. Now I'm going to break this thing out. We've tested a little bit, yard tested, but not field tested it. So we thought we'd let you guys take a look and kind of give you the rundown on the machine itself. It's really a very super clever design. It's pretty easy to set up and operate. This is the company's model that just for demonstration and stuff, they sent it to me, and really not so much to make them a marketing video or anything or tutorial, but to test with our software that we developed, which we're completing the black box interface to be able to go onto this unit and then wirelessly connect to a laptop or other device. So I hate to get their factory unit a little dirty, but we're going to have to put it to use. And setup's pretty easy, and it's not really a big deal. So there's really not as much to it as you would think. So we're going to go ahead and run the full size, because we're going to run full depth. I think the way they've got this thing set up is probably one of the easier units overall to deal with, I think, personally anyway. So that's really it, and then you're up and running. And that was the car. Pretty good sign. Have to pull some of that shit out of the way. That is some impressive. So you can see that The mag, or this pulse induction is generating, it's electrifying the ground basically. And then that's generating a secondary field that it responds to on all the sides of the coil. So as I cross over off and on target or targets, you can hear it raise and fall. And what it actually sounds like is there's one here under the road, one right there in front of the cedar on this side, and they sound really big. And you'll see what I did was I ran lines this way and then actually ran one across the target to verify from the other direction. And except for a little bit of bumping distortion, it skyrockets the same way. So those are good signs. Oh, wait a second. I see it. There's a piece of wire wrapped, old wire wrapped in the top of that old tree.
I was just gonna say, but I didn't want to say it on camera, like maybe there's some metal in the tree.
Here, have some wire. Grab that. We should have it this time. That's an old boot nail, piece of one. Probably doesn't look like a chunk of wire. Just looks like it's an oxidized, because it's got that end is kind of crimped or smashed. So that could be an old boot nail. Should have brought a little locator with me and bring it. This area is so dirty with wire.
Alien wire.
Cool. So that target area we were just checking ended up being a no-go. We proofed it and found other sources, metallic sources, sitting around and laid around in the tree and whatnot that was giving us false signals on the hoop. And so once we proofed that area, we didn't get any real significant returns other than maybe ground differences, things like that. But then we moved our search zone closer to the actual eye in the sky GPS location, and ended up getting 2 target hits, one here and one over here. And so now we're going to do, of course, another metal detector, ground proofing, make sure there's no other iron signatures or targets in the ground, and then that'll eliminate that possibility. And then we'll have to do some more scanning. We'll probably end up bringing the rover over here with the new GeoPro 3D software, and to mate up with the, for one, with the HS 6000 Haesung Octo that we're using, and as well I'll get the rover and we'll get it on the GeoPro 3D software, and maybe we'll do, so this is a real easy area to scan. We can just grid this entire thing and actually take a look in 3D at the amplitude and frequency and see what the AI can put together on this. So first steps, right? See what we got going on over here. Yeah, this should not pick anything up at that depth. The depth we're looking at on that unit was literally probably close to the outside of its limits, and it's rated 13 to maybe 15 feet, and that would be easily how deep they would get these things. So they wanted 23, 12 minimum, 6 under terms of impending death. So we'll just have to see. This should not register anything that deep, I wouldn't think. But depends on how big it is. Not a beat. There's an echo. All those warbles. When something's deep in the ground and it's hot. like, yeah, it's hot. I do register slightly, real slight. Enough to throw one light. All the ground's hot. So. But there's no metal laying here, that's good. Well, we did the deed and ran that second spot, cleansed it out, made sure there was nothing there. Really good overall. It's good to have eliminated the tree area, at least for now, and now we're able to focus on a new site, and it's certainly close to the original marker. So, you know, what it'll take is we'll come back, we'll end up doing it again, and we'll run the rover out there and image that whole thing and take a 3D visual look and see what it is. And we'll try to use the software with the Haesung 6000, the HS6000 Octo, that pulse induction, but we'll use the Rover C OKM device, which is geomagnetic, passive geomagnetic, and we'll map it with that, and then we can get, you know, a good look down to 80 or 100 feet pretty easy, and be able to see what the target looks like potentially and see what it is. And if it looks good at that point, we'll bring in a backhoe or do whatever for the next step is. But so far so good, and we're hauling ass out of here and on to the next one. So I'll get this edited and up as soon as possible. Thanks everybody for being with us, and thanks everybody for your support. That's why we do it. Say good night, Josh.
Good night, Josh.